Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm looking at this. This is Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1956. It is, without doubt, a wonderful classic sci-fi with elements of horror film. Absolutely love it. It was, well, perhaps in many ways nowadays overshadowed by the brilliant 1978 remake starring Donald Sutherland, but we'll come back to that. Now, it's 80 minutes long, and it is on Rotten Tomatoes 85%, which I suppose isn't bad. I think a lot of critics realised how good this was, and it has built a reputation over time. Now, it was on a budget of $416,900, and at the box office, it made $3 million. And it was released as a double feature with The Atomic Man, 1955. Don't you love these titles? Now, it's from a screenplay by Daniel Mainwaring, who I think notable film for him as a screenplay was Atlantis, The Lost Continent from 1961, which is a George Powell film. And it's based on a novel, The Body Snatchers, by Jack Finney. Now, it's directed by Don Siegel, and he's got a great collection of films. Riot in Cell Block 11, 1954. Coogan's Bluff, 1968, Clint Eastwood. Two Mules for Sister Sarah, 1970. And of course, 1971, Dirty Harry. Wow, what a film to direct. Yeah, started off these wonderful films with Clint Eastwood. He also did Charlie Varick, which is quite a well thought of crime drama. He did The Shootist, 1976, which is a John Wayne film, which I think was his last appearance in a film, The Shootist. So they're just films that just stand out. There's a lot more films that he did. I just picked them out anyhow. Then we've got, in terms of locations, it's all in the LA area. So we've got names that have come up before: Sierra Madre, Chatsworth, Glendale, Los Feliz, Bronson, and Beechwood Canyons. And it's also done at the Allied Artists Studio in Hollywood. So there we are. Now, let's get into the cast. The cast we got is, of course, Kevin McCarthy, who plays Dr. Miles Bennell. Interesting films he was in was Piranha, 1978. Oh yes, who can not forget Piranha? Joe Dante, I think. Yes. Then he was in The Howling, 1981. Wow. Amazing. What a film The Howling is. I love The Howling. Oh yeah, I should also mention, because in 1978, there was the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, starred Donald Sutherland, and he made a cameo appearance, yes, which was, I think, a nice little touch in the film. So that film is very highly thought of, really is. But there we are, he did make an appearance there. He was also in the Twilight Zone movie from 1983, which is a great film. Inner Space, yeah, 1987, he was in that as well. but he's also been in lots of TV, movies and series. He's a brilliant actor. Then we've got Dana Winter, who plays Becky Driscoll. When you look at her, it's all a lot of TV series and TV films, and apparently she's really good in so many, often playing quite villains as well. Yes, or villainesses, whatever way you want to say it. Yes, she's apparently very good in a lot of these series. So there we are. She's good in this. Yes, she's very pretty as well. She's very very nice. Yeah, really nice looking, and she does add a lot of depth to the part as well. We've got King Donohan, who plays Jack Belasek. Get it right. Anyhow, he's important in the film. He had a career from 1948. Now, a notable film that he was in was The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, 1953. Oh, yes, he was in that. What a film to be in. Then we've got him in all sorts, like so many of these in TV series, TV movies. Great career. Then we've got Carolyn Jones, who plays Teddy Belloc. She's his partner in the film, Jack's partner. She was in The Man Who Knew Too Much, 1956, which was a Hitchcock film. Yes, we got a Hitchcock film here. Yes, she was in Elvis Presley's film, King Creole, from 1958. She was also in a very successful film at the time, How the West Was Won, which was 1962. And also, I have to put this, she was in a film called Eaten Alive, 1976, which is a Tobe Hooper film. Yes, a wonderful one of those films. Great, I love it. Then we've got Larry Gates, who plays Dr. Kaufman. Now, his career in terms of films is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which stands out 1958, and in quite an important film, well, I'd say a very important film, he was in the Heat of the Night from 1967, which is a Rod Steiger, Sidney Poitier film, which is always mentioned as such a great film for its time. Then we've got Airport, 1970. Yeah. Funny Lady, 1975. Yeah, wow. And I've got to mention this. In a very quick role, a very small role, in fact, you see him and then he goes, we've got the director, Sam Peckinpah. Yes, he plays Charlie, the gas meter reader who we see fiddling around in the cellar, because that's part of the things. And because Sam Peckinpah is a wonderful director, so many acclaimed films. Oh, yes. Straw Dogs, I always point out. What a great film that is. But The Wild Bunch is so well thought of as well. And a host of other great films. I thought I'd just mention that little bit. Yes. Blink and you might miss it. But it's there. It's in there. And yeah, that's good to see. Right. So, another thing I think I should just mention, and we may get into it a little bit, is the director wasn't very pleased about some of the studio interference in this film, particularly with the ending, and he wanted a certain ending, and the studio changed that. They also insisted, at the beginning, the prologue part of the film. So it does affect, in many ways, the tone of the film as well. But anyhow, we may talk a little bit more about that. But anyhow, what is this film about? It's about, well, Dr. Miles Burnell, a doctor in a small California town. He starts to uncover what he realizes is, in fact, an alien invasion through pods over space. These pods have traveled, and well, they've come. Obviously, there were seeds, and they've grown into these pods, and this is the way that the aliens are coming. And what they're doing, they're replacing people. Yes, because when he first starts, you get these patients coming and saying to him, "That's not my mom. That's not my uncle. That's not my mother." All this, and of course, it's just dismissed as a piece of hysteria. And then suddenly they all say, "Oh yeah, I was wrong. They are my mother," and blah blah. And there's this change, and of course, it's what has happened is that they have been replaced, and as they see, and the replacements are emotionless duplicates. It's only when you speak to them and see how they react that you know how emotionless they are. And this is what he uncovers. And the film is brilliant. It builds up who can you trust and about love, because he's in love with Becky, and their relationship is highlighted as well, so much about what all this means, and they're friends, of course they're two friends. It's great. And it all moves along so quickly in 80 minutes. It's done as also in this, what you can call it, a film noir style, because there's this narration, as the doctor talks about what is going on right from the beginning. It's wonderfully done. It really is. The whole style of the film, it really grabs you. You're not sure about what is going on. Who to trust, who not to trust. I like that very much, and it's wonderful. It just unfolds. The story is great. Now, as I said about the ending, yes, because we know how the remake ending is with Donald Sutherland. Very much. This one, the studio, I think, felt they didn't want a bleaker ending, which I think the director was quite happy to have one. So therefore, we get that it could be stopped. It could be stopped. Whereas in the remake, no, it's not going to be stopped. The invasion. I don't mind this ending. I don't mind having an optimistic ending. But I know, I can see why we love our bleakness, don't we? But this is good. I like it. In many ways, I've got to say, I've got a soft spot for this film. I really have. I think it does get overshadowed a bit now by the remake, because the remake is so good. For me, I really love this film. It's almost like a comfort film for me. I can just put it on and watch it all again unfold. Obviously, when it was made, people read a lot into it about McCarthyism, about the loss of individualism, Soviet communism, all that kind of stuff was put in about how the world was feeling, the paranoia, very much of the time, and also fits in, I think, with a lot of good sci-fi films of that period. But what elevates this is also that it has got a very horrific side. There is a lot of horror. I mean, the British Film Board of Censors even made cuts in this. Yeah, they thought it was too horrific in places. I mean, now we want those pods and everything about it is really quite creepy and wonderful. That is the horror element here. And for this film, 1956, it just stands out. It does for me, and I really like it. I just can't, as much as I love the remake from 1978, which is acknowledged. A lot of people will say it is better than this one. I don't know. I'm attached to this one. I really am. I think you can live with both. I can love both, because this one I can just put on. It just so easy to watch, and I like the way the story moves along. It just fits beautifully. I know I seem to be saying but I'm just babbling on. I know, but I do. I genuinely really love this film, and that's why I reviewed it. I wanted to show that people might dismiss it. I don't want people to dismiss this. It's a case where the remake is really a good remake, and we don't always get that. But some would say better than this. But I do love this. Anyhow, before I go, I'll show you my version. Now, there is a 4K release, which I haven't got, which I should get. But I've got this one. This is a Spanish release. I bought this a long time ago, when my early days of collecting Blu-rays, and I couldn't find an English version of it, and I got this Spanish one. It's a very sort of bare bones release. There's no extras or anything on it, but it looks good. But I perhaps should, for my collection, get the 4K. But you never know. At the moment, I am happy with this, and say I do love this film. I haven't got the 4K of the other one either. I've just got the Arrow video Blu-ray of the remake. But yeah, highly recommended. That's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll let you know when I put out these videos. And just check the playlist, and you'll see everything that I do. If you've got any comments, please put your comments down, because I love to read your comments. And it's really big, it's really grand. And it all costs note. You can't say better than that, can there? I'll always answer your comments as well. So that's it. All I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.